Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on the notification bell to get the latest updates from Infidelity Chronicles. Also, like and share this video so that it can reach a wider audience on YouTube. Now, let's continue. I never imagined a single dinner could unravel my entire world. It was a crisp autumn evening when I arrived at the home of my best friend, Elena, and her husband, Julian. Their cozy suburban house glowed with warm light, the kind of place that screamed stability and love. Elena and I had been inseparable since college, sharing secrets and dreams over countless coffee dates. Julian, with his easy charm and sharp wit, had always been the perfect complement to her vibrant energy. They were the couple everyone envied, always laughing, always in sync. That night, the table was set with care: roasted chicken, garlic mashed potatoes, and a bottle of Pinot Noir that Julian swore was life-changing. We chatted about mundane things: work, the latest TV series, Elena's new art project. But as the meal progressed, I noticed a shift. Elena's smiles lingered a little too long, and Julian's gaze felt heavier, like he was studying me. Halfway through the second glass of wine, Elena leaned forward, her hazel eyes catching the candlelight. "Sophia," she said, her voice soft but deliberate, "we've been talking about something important." I raised an eyebrow, expecting a confession about their latest home renovation obsession. "Okay, spill. What's the big secret?" Julian set his glass down, his expression unreadable. "It's about you and us." My stomach flipped. "What do you mean?" Elena reached across the table, her fingers brushing mine. "We've always had this connection, the three of us. A spark. Don't you feel it?" I froze, my mind scrambling to process her words. A spark? Sure, we were close. I'd always felt at ease with them, maybe even a little charmed by Julian's flirtatious banter over the years. But this was something else. Julian's voice cut through my thoughts, low and steady. "We want to explore it, Sophia, together." I choked on my wine, coughing as I set the glass down. "You're joking, right?" Elena's smile didn't waver. "Not at all. We've talked about it for months. We want you to be part of us." My heart pounded so loudly I was sure they could hear it. This wasn't a prank. The way Julian's eyes locked onto mine, intense and hungry, told me this was real. Too real. I don't know what to say," I stammered, my cheeks burning. Elena squeezed my hand. "You don't have to decide now. Just think about it. We trust you, Sophia, and we think you feel it too." Julian leaned closer, his voice a whisper. "You're not just Elena's friend. You're more than that, to both of us." I should have laughed it off, excused myself, and driven home. But something in their eyes, the raw, unspoken desire, stirred a dangerous curiosity inside me. I thought of the lonely nights in my apartment, the ache for connection I'd buried under work and routine, and then there was Julian, with his broad shoulders and that maddeningly confident smile, watching me like I was the only person in the room. "Okay," I said, my voice barely audible. "I'll think about it." But even as I spoke, I knew I was already falling into something I couldn't escape. The next evening I found myself back at their house, my nerves a tangled mess. I'd spent the day replaying Elena's words, torn between shock and a reckless thrill. I'd told myself I was just there to talk, to set boundaries, to understand what they were really asking. But deep down, I knew I was lying to myself. Elena greeted me at the door, her dark hair loose and her smile radiant. "You came," she said, pulling me into a hug that lingered a moment too long. Julian stood behind her, pouring whiskey into 3 glasses, his eyes flicking to mine with a knowing glint. "We're glad you're here," he said, handing me a drink. "No pressure, Sophia. We just want to see where this goes." The living room was dimly lit, a soft jazz playlist humming in the background. We sat on the plush sectional, Elena's thigh brushing mine as she tucked her legs under her. The air felt charged, like the moment before a storm. "So," I said, clutching my glass for courage, "what does this look like, hypothetically?" Elena laughed, a sound that usually put me at ease but now sent a shiver down my spine. "It's whatever we want it to be. No rules, just us, feeling what feels right." Julian's hand rested on my knee, warm and deliberate. "You're safe with us, Sophia. Always." My pulse raced. Safe? This was the opposite of safe. This was playing with fire. But when Elena leaned in, her lips grazing my cheek, I didn't pull away. "Relax," she whispered. "Let go." And then Julian's hand slid to my waist, pulling me closer. His breath was warm against my neck, and when his lips brushed my skin, a gasp escaped me. This was wrong, so wrong, but my body betrayed me, leaning into his touch. Elena's fingers traced my arm, guiding my hand to Julian's chest. "Touch him," she murmured, her voice a mix of command and invitation. I did. His heartbeat was steady under my palm, a stark contrast to my own frantic rhythm. When his mouth found mine, hot and demanding, I forgot everything. My loyalty to Elena, the guilt gnawing at my conscience, the life I'd built outside this moment. It was just us, tangled in a haze of desire. We stumbled toward the bedroom, a blur of hands and whispered promises. Elena's laughter mingled with Julian's low groans, and I was caught in the middle, drowning in sensation. But as we crossed the threshold, a sharp creak shattered the spell. The bedroom door swung open, revealing a figure in the shadows. Clara, Elena's younger sister, stood in the doorway, her face a mask of horror. Her backpack slid off her shoulder, hitting the floor with a thud. "What the actual hell?" she spat, her voice trembling. I yanked away from Julian, my heart lurching into my throat. Clara's eyes darted between us, infuriatingly morphing into adjusted disgust. Her blouse and stepped forward. "You're all Clara together? You're supposed to be at your dorm tonight. With Sophia?" My face burned. I wanted to disappear, to erase the last hour from existence. "Clara, it's not." "Don't," she snapped, cutting me off. "Don't lie to me. I saw you." Julian ran a hand through his hair, his composure fraying. "Clara, let's talk about this. Privately." But Clara wasn't listening. She fumbled for her phone, her fingers shaking. "This is sick. I'm telling everyone. Mom, Dad, your friends, you're disgusting." Elena moved like lightning, snatching the phone from Clara's hand. "No, you're not." Clara lunged for it, but Elena held firm, her expression eerily serene. "You don't understand, sweetie. This isn't what you think." "Give it back!" Clara screamed, shoving Elena. The struggle was brief but chaotic, ending when Clara stumbled backward, tears streaming down her face. "You're monsters!" she hissed, then bolted down the hall. The front door slammed, and silence crashed over us. I turned to Elena, my voice shaking. "What the hell just happened? She's going to tell everyone!" Julian placed a hand on my shoulder, but I shrugged it off. "She won't," he said, though his tone lacked conviction. "Elena will handle it." "Handle it how?" I demanded, glaring at Elena. "She's your sister. She's furious." Elena's smile was unnervingly calm. "Claire's dramatic, but she's not stupid. She'll come around." But I wasn't so sure. The look in Clara's eyes wasn't just anger. It was betrayal. And as I stood there, caught between my best friend and her husband, I wondered if I'd just destroyed everything I cared about. 2 days passed, and the silence was deafening. No texts from Clara, no social media posts, no whispers of scandal. It was as if she'd vanished. I checked my phone obsessively, expecting a barrage of accusations, but there was nothing. Julian called me the next morning, his voice steady but strained. "Claire's fine. Alina talked to her. She won't say anything." "How?" I pressed, pacing my apartment. "She was ready to burn us all down." "Alina has her ways," he said, and the vagueness of it sent a chill through me. "Just trust us, Sophia." But trust was the last thing I felt. That night, Alina texted me, "Come over, just you and me. I almost didn't go." Every instinct screamed that this was a mistake, that I should cut ties and run, but curiosity and a nagging sense of guilt pulled me back to their house. A slap. Boundaries? Elena was alone,
You're the
sitting
one
on
who
the couch
started
with a
this.
glass of wine. Her smile was
The
razor
warmth
sharp. I'd always
and
associated
you went along
with her
with it.
was gone,
But you and
replaced by
Julian,
something colder.
you got carried
more
away.
calculated. I allowed it,
Sit,
Sophia, because
she
I
said,
thought you'd patting the cushion beside her.
rules.
I obeyed,
My throat
my
went dry.
stomach nodding.
What's
What's going on, Elena?
You said there were
Where's
no
Clara?
rules.
I lied.
She's fine.
She leaned closer, her
waving
voice
a
dropped
hand
dismissively. This was never
But we
just
need to
about
talk
us
about
having
boundaries.
fun. It was about control. And now, I need you to prove you're still in. My heart sank. What are you talking about? She pulled out her phone and played a video. It was grainy but unmistakable. Me, Julian, and Elena in the bedroom, moments before Clara interrupted. My stomach churned. "Clara didn't just see us," Elena said. "She recorded us. And if you don't do what I ask, this goes public." I stared at her, disbelief giving way to horror. "You're blackmailing me?" "I'm protecting us," she corrected. "There's someone I need you to get close to. Seduce him. Get information. Do this, and the video stays buried." "Who?" I whispered, dreading the answer. "His name is Victor," she said. "He's Julian's business partner, and he's hiding something that could ruin us all." I left Elena's house in a daze, the weight of her ultimatum crushing me. Seduce Victor? Betray Julian's business partner? This wasn't the Elena I knew. The artist, the dreamer, the friend who'd cried on my shoulder after her first miscarriage. This was a stranger, manipulative and ruthless. And yet, I couldn't shake the memory of her touch, or Julian's, or the way I'd let myself fall into their world. The next day I met Victor at a sleek downtown cafe, under the pretense of discussing a marketing project for Julian's tech startup. He was older than I'd expected, with silver-flecked hair and a disarming smile, but his eyes were sharp, calculating, like he saw through every word I spoke. "You're not what I expected," he said, stirring his coffee. "Julian's always singing your praises, but you're different in person." I forced a smile, my nerves fraying. "Good different, I hope?" He chuckled, but there was an edge to it. "We'll see." Over the next week, I played Elena's game, meeting Victor for lunches, drinks, late-night strategy sessions. He was charming, attentive, but guarded. I flirted, laughed at his jokes, brushed his arm when I thought it would work, but every step felt like a betrayal, not just of Victor, but of myself. One night, as we left a rooftop bar, Victor stopped me, his hand on my wrist. "Sophia," he said, his voice low, "why are you really here?" My heart stopped. "What do you mean?" He stepped closer, his gaze piercing. His words hung in the air like a guillotine. "I know Elena sent you, and I know why." Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. A text from Elena. "Clara's back. She's asking questions. Fix this or the video goes out." I looked up at Victor, his expression unreadable. The game had just gotten a lot more dangerous. I gripped the railing, the cool metal grounding me as I scrambled for a response. "Victor, I don't know what you're talking about," I said, my voice steadier than I felt. "I'm here because of the project. That's it." He tilted his head, his smile thin and sharp. "You're good, Sophia, but not that good. Elena's been playing games for years. Julian, too. You're just the latest pawn." My stomach churned. Pawn? The word stung, but it rang true. I thought of Elena's calculated smiles, Julian's too perfect reassurances, the way they'd pulled me into their world only to trap me, and now Victor, with his piercing gaze, seemed to hold the key to everything. "What do you know?" I asked, dropping the pretense. "About Elena, about all of this." Victor glanced over the city skyline, his jaw tight. "Meet me tomorrow. My office, alone. I'll show you everything." Before I could press him, he turned and disappeared into the crowd, leaving me with a sinking feeling that tomorrow would change everything. Again. Back at my apartment, I couldn't sleep. Elena's text glared at me from my phone, a ticking bomb. Clara was back, asking questions. Did she still have the video? Had Elena lied about handling her? And Victor? What did he know that made him so confident? I paced, torn between confronting Elena, warning Julian, or trusting Victor's cryptic promise. By morning, I'd made my choice. I drove to Victor's office, a sleek high-rise that screamed money and power. His assistant waved me in, and I found him behind a glass desk, a stack of folders in front of him. He didn't smile, just gestured to a chair. "Sophia," he said, "you're in deeper than you realize, but you're not the only one they've played." He slid a folder across the desk. Inside were documents, emails, financial records, contracts. My eyes caught Julian's name, then Elena's, linked to offshore accounts and shady deals. Victor leaned back, watching me process it. "They've been skimming from the company for years," he said, "using shell corporations, fake invoices. I suspected it, but I needed proof. That's why Elena sent you, to distract me, maybe even compromise me." I felt sick. So this whole thing with me, it was just a setup? Not entirely. Victor's voice softened. "I think Elena wanted you, genuinely, but she's a strategist. She saw an opportunity to control you and keep me in check. 2 birds, 1 stone. My mind reeled. The dinner, the seduction, the bedroom. It was all a chess move. And Clara? "What about the video?" I asked. "Clara recorded us. Elena's threatening to release it." Victor's eyes narrowed. "Claire's not the problem. Elena's using her as leverage. But I have something better." He pulled out his phone and played an audio clip. It was Elena's voice, cold and precise, talking to someone, Julian, I realized, about cleaning up the accounts and handling Sophia, if I stepped out of line. The timestamp was recent, just days ago. "This is enough to bury them," Victor said, "but I need your help. Testify against them, and I'll make sure that video never sees the light of day." I stared at the folder, the weight of betrayal crushing me. Elena, my best friend, had used me. Julian, who'd kissed me like I was his world, was complicit. And Clara, caught in the crossfire, was just another pawn. But turning on them meant destroying everything. Our friendship, their marriage, my own reputation if the video leaked anyway. "What if I say no?" I whispered. Victor's expression hardened. "Then you're on your own. And Elena doesn't play nice when she's cornered." I left Victor's office with the folder tucked under my arm, my mind a storm of fear and resolve. I drove straight to Elena's house unannounced. She answered the door in a silk robe, her smile faltering when she saw my face. "Sophia, what's wrong?" she asked, stepping aside. I didn't sit. I dropped the folder on the coffee table, papers spilling out. "It's over, Elena. I know everything. Your accounts, your lies, the way you used me." Her eyes widened, but she recovered quickly, laughing softly. "Oh, Sophia, you think you've cracked some big conspiracy? Those are just business papers. You're overreacting." "Don't," I snapped. "I have proof. Audio. Victor's ready to take you down, and I'm done protecting you." For the first time, fear flickered across her face. "You'd betray me? After everything?" "You betrayed me first," I said, my voice breaking. "You and Julian. You made me think this was about us, but it was always about control." She stepped closer, her voice low. "If you do this, Sophia, you'll regret it. That video." "You won't see the light of day," I cut in. "Victor's handling it. And Clara, I'm talking to her next. She deserves the truth." Elena's mask slipped, revealing raw desperation. "Please, Sophia, we can fix this. Just don't go to her." But I was already walking out, her pleas fading behind me. Clara met me at a park, her face pale and guarded. I told her everything. Elena's scheme, Victor's evidence, the video. She listened, tears welling, then pulled out her phone. "I deleted it," she said quietly. "The video, after Elena begged me, but I kept a copy, just in case." My heart sank. "Clara? You have to give it to Victor. It's the only way to stop her." She nodded, wiping her eyes. "I know. I wanted to believe she was still my sister." A week later, Victor filed charges. The evidence was damning. Elena and Julian were arrested for embezzlement, their perfect facade shattered. The video never surfaced, thanks to Clara's cooperation and Victor's discreet lawyers. I moved to a new city, craving a fresh start, but the scars lingered. I'd loved Elena, trusted Julian, and lost myself in their game. One night, as I unpacked in my new apartment, my phone buzzed. An unknown number. I opened the message, and my blood ran cold. It was a single line. "You think it's over, but I'm not done." E. I stared at the screen, the weight of her words settling in. The game might be over, but Elena's shadow would follow me forever. Thanks for sticking by to this extent. Want more unfaithful and cheating stories? Hit the subscribe button, like, and share for more.